Well, good morning. I thought I'd take you on another garden walk and see what we can see. We're finally starting to get some of these flowers called blanket flowers. These are my Romas. This is the round two of the Romas. Romas only come on once and then they're done. So I try to plant two crops. There's my first crop, and I'm a little worried about them because during the heat, that's when all the flowers came on. So I may not get much out of those even though they're really big. But coming into the melon area, you can see we're starting to get melons. Susie came through and supported them so they don't get too heavy. And we've got a few of those. I'm just looking here. These vines are getting nice and long. So we just take them, move them up the trellis, like so. This is a watermelon. I think that's another watermelon. And so you can see they're coming. We did harvest our first cucumber, our first peppers, and our first cherry tomatoes. There's another melon. And there's some more. There's a cucumber coming. Probably have more cucumbers hiding in here. You can just tell how much shade we're getting from the trellis. That was the whole idea of this. Plus we've got the shade cloth on, which really helps with the heat. It can lower the temperature. Oh, look at that. There's some pickles. It can lower the heat 10 to 15 degrees, and I need to get that one off. Shoot. Missed that one while we were gone, I think. Once it turns yellow, that's bad, and it means the plant could stop producing. So it is time to get that one off. Way past time to get that one off. And that's what happens when you miss one. There is another one on the other side. So we'll come around to the other side. Those probably won't be good because they're yellow. And that happens fast with the little varieties especially. So over here I've got some different kinds of peppers. This plant is getting tall, but didn't really branch out much. This is a Spanish Taraxo pepper. Lots of flowers. We just picked some of our peppers, but you can see we're getting some in here. Oh, there's a banana pepper 3. There they are. And let's see, a few peppers here. I think those are Jimmy Nardellos. We have green pepper coming in a couple of spots. There'll be little ones probably at this stage. Where is that pepper, or is that cucumber that I need to get rid of? Might need to prune down here. Okay, there it is. Got it just a little, probably a little too late. That one might be okay. All right, my shade cloth fell down while in all the wind. Those are tomatillos used for green salsa for me. Got another pepper over here. These are my leeks, along with a nasturtium that Susie planted that attracts pollinators. My onions are not quite ready to harvest yet. They're going to be smaller than I wanted this year because I made a mistake on them in the spring. I forgot to prune them. And that's okay. You look in here, I should have dozens and dozens of tomatoes. Instead, I have almost none. And the reason for that is because most of the flowers fell off just as it was starting to flower due to the heat. So I've got one or two. I took one in, but so much for my great pasta or salsa. Excuse me, I can't talk. Sauce. That's what I'm trying to say. Sauce tomatoes. We're just not going to get a lot on this first round. So today's job is to put up the shade cloth that blew over. Getting a little tomato on this one, I saw. So that's the second round of tomatoes. Still babies down there. All right, coming over this way, we have my squash. We have 4 or 5 different kinds of squash. We have some spaghetti squash, which you literally, it comes out stringy like spaghetti. The other ones, I don't know if I like them or not. I'm just trying them to see. When I was a kid, I wasn't a big squash fan. The rhubarb is still doing fantastic. We have a couple of carrots that are okay. We have our first sunflower. So these are sunflowers. We have another one getting ready to come up. I planted different height ones, and they provide a lot of shade to this bed. These onions did so well, so much better than some of the other onions. And then you can see the rhubarb beds are just full. Coming over here, I did harvest my red onions, and they did not get super big because, again, I forgot to do the pruning. You know, I was busy building the beds, so it was hard to do it all. We've got dogs barking in the background. So you can see we're getting some tomatoes. All different kinds of tomatoes. I'm going to replant the beds. I just pulled the onions out of here, so that bed's fairly empty. Probably put some fall crops in there. But lots and lots and lots of tomatoes, especially on this plant. This is called a Brandywine. The Brandywine seem to be doing extremely well this year. This is a Genovese Castellano, really an interesting tomato. If you look at it, you can see it's all ribbed. And when you cut it, you can cut it right down those ribs like slices of a pie. And they taste really good. They actually go well in deserts. So, berries are done. Do need to come over here and check another squash plant. We have a yellow summer squash that we just harvested. I have another one coming in here. This is a Ford hook, which is a green one. That one's not going to make it, so I'm going to pop that off. Need to water these guys today. Almost forgot to do that. See what else we got coming in. That's about it on that plant. Or on that planter. Yeah, we just harvested off of it, so not much yet. Then we come over here. Not really doing much on this one. I need to just pull those green beans out. They're not doing well. They've got some kind of disease. They didn't have a good year. This is my surprise celery. I wasn't realizing that I was growing celery, but apparently I did. And then I've got another squash plant here. My flower beds are doing fantastic. Most of what you see there is zinnias, and this is called sweet alyssum. It attracts a really beneficial insect. Coming back to this side, you can see even more tomatoes on this side. I'll come up and show you our big boy here that's really growing big. And that would be the Brandywine right there, just to show you how big it is. Here's my hand, and it's basically as big as, well, it's bigger than a baseball. So anyway, so that's a good one. These Florida tomatoes are doing pretty well. They are designed for the heat, and this one's called Mortgage Lifter. It is supposed to get huge. When I say huge, up to 2 pounds. And the reason it's called Mortgage Lifter is the guy who created it literally saved his mortgage, saved his house by selling the seeds, because one seed would feed a family for several days. Or excuse me, one tomato would feed a family for several days. And he would sell the seeds for $1 a seed back in the Depression, which you know is expensive back then. And so it saved his house. I don't know if you can see that bee floating around. But lots of good plants going on, flowering going on. These are delphiniums here, black-eyed Susans. So honeysuckle, and that's borage, the blue plant, that's borage. So anyway, that's how we're doing. Not going to get anything off my fig tree this year. That's not uncommon. And then the newest addition to our decorations is this. It is supposed to be solar powered and light up at night, and I forgot to look last night. So we'll find out. The pond is doing well. Fish are doing fine. I've added some more water lettuce. That helps with the shade, and it divides really fast. There's a lady I met on Facebook who is giving me tons and tons of four garbage bags full of that floating lettuce, and it gives some shade and things like that. So, and there's the fish. If you can see them, I'll zoom in. They're doing good. All right, talk to you later.